Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Growing tensions in Uvalde. The school district holding today's meeting with an attorney present, leading to outbursts tonight.
He has a say in that, doesn't he? No. He has a...
Mr. President, I want to remind you that you're not
The school board now deciding who should lead that district following the shooting at Robb Elementary.
And new kits sent to schools across the state. The goal meant to identify children, but is it in response to what happened in Uvalde? Those stories in a moment. But first, we start with breaking news tonight. 2 Bexar County deputies taken to the hospital. This is happening on the west side near Highway 90 and Colt.
So here's what we know so far. Investigators say those deputies were responding to a shooting call at a mobile home park in that area. The sheriff's office says the victim in the shooting was rushed to a hospital by family members. Before 2 deputies could even make it to the scene, they ended up crashing into each other on the way there. We don't know the conditions of those deputies right now or the shooting victim. We'll be sure to update you as more details become available throughout this newscast and beyond.
Now turning to late-breaking developments out of Uvalde, where the school board has just named an interim superintendent. This is a decision that came after the board met for 3 hours behind closed doors.
The interim superintendent will replace Dr. Hal Harrell, who announced his retirement earlier this month. The night team's Lee Waldman in Uvalde for us tonight for that meeting. Lee, what do we know about the board's choice of the interim superintendent?
Well, the district named Gary Patterson as the interim superintendent pending Dr. Hal Harrell's retirement. At this point, we know that Patterson worked at East Central ISD until 2014, and since then he has served as interim superintendent at several other districts as well. But tonight, there was outrage in the Benson boardroom as the district's legal counsel stepped in during public comment.
Yeah, yours on donations, and that's not part of the agenda.
well, yeah, but it's just a comment, so I'm not going to take that much time. So, first of all, I would just like to say, whoever... Sorry to interrupt you, but I need to advise the board and the board president.
Yes, sir.
Interruptions of public comment Wednesday night by a woman who appears to be UCISD's legal counsel.
And finally, J.G. Swider, we've been waiting for you to resign. You lied to us, you lied to the board.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. President.
Leading to heated outcries from families of victims and their supporters wanting to be heard.
If the board's not able to continue with its public comment, you can recess for 5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I signed up for safety, and that's a disgrace that safety is not on the agenda, and it never has been.
As the board went to closed sessions, emotions stayed high among families and those who appeared to be in support of the district.
It didn't happen to you. This was my granddaughter.
It happened to this coordinator.
That closed door session lasted over 3 hours, but when it ended, I asked Patterson if we could have a comment about his position, and he said he wouldn't be able to speak until things were official with Dr. Hal Harrell's retirement. But then after that point, he said he'd be more than happy to speak with us. Live in Uvalde, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. Now to DNA and fingerprints. Special kits meant to help identify a child are being sent to school districts, including some right here at home.
Now, the timing here has really led some to ask if the kits were released in response to the shooting in Uvalde. At the time, parents were asked to provide DNA to identify the victims. We all remember that. The night team's Alyssa Cole spoke with the lawmaker who backed this bill. And Alyssa, that state lawmaker says that this wasn't in response to Uvalde.
Exactly. These kits are part of the National Children Identification Program, a program that is several decades old, but it's a part of a renewed safety initiative that was approved by the state last year, nearly a year before the Uvalde tragedy.
I've already been traumatized so much, and giving this kit to them, it was very overwhelming for little ones.
For some, the arrival of these DNA and fingerprinting kits brought anxiety. For others, relief.
If anything happens, we're already a step ahead.
Schools across Texas are receiving the child ID kits for students in kindergarten through 8th grade. It includes a saliva swab site, an applicator, and an inkless fingerprint card, allowing you to document your child's physical appearance. Parents can use them on a voluntary basis.
It is very important for the security of our children.
State Senator Donna Campbell sponsors Senate Bill 2158, the bill that mandates the kits be released in public schools. In a statement, she says the kits, quote, do not enter a database and are only turned over to law enforcement in the event of a disappearance or exploitation, saving critical early hours needed to safely return a child home. Campbell says the kits are not in response to the Uvalde tragedy that happened nearly 5 months ago. Campbell says she hopes the free kits, quote, provide a peace of mind to parents.
Now, we've reached out to several school districts and we have heard back from Northside ISD, Northeast ISD, and Idea Public Schools. They said they have received the kits and they're working on distributing them. Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Thanks, Alyssa. Now tonight, more records are showing that Governor Greg Abbott's office was aware that migrants were being flown from San Antonio to Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts last month. The state of Texas previously denied any involvement with that flight, but newly released records show that Governor Greg Abbott's chief of staff released or received these texts from Florida's governor chief of staff. Now, one of those texts saying, quote, Texas is aware of dash FYI. No worries here, end quote. Records also show flight pricing. To take 5 people from Florida to Massachusetts started at $26,000. That's according to one quote. There's an investigation into how those flights were paid for.
Another construction project getting off the ground. This time it's over on the city's north side. TxDOT breaking ground today on another segment of its expansion project at Loop 1604. This portion will focus on the interchange at I-10. As the night team's John Paul Barajas learned, the work is bringing mixed reaction from drivers who use 1604 on a daily basis.
Probably within the week, it'll probably add up to I'm not sure, maybe 10 hours.
That's how much time Serena Tovar feels she wastes traveling on 1604. She blames the high volume of traffic and construction, and she's not alone.
We have to go, places. It's just, we get there late or we had to leave early. Even if we leave early, we still run into traffic no matter what.
The Loop 1604 North Expansion project plans to transform 23 miles of the freeway from Bandera to I-35. The highway would go from 4 lanes to 10 with an HOV lane in each direction. It'll also reconfigure exit and entrance ramps and replace the Cloverleaf interchange at I-10 and 1604 with a 5-level direct connect interchange.
The 5 lanes and all that stuff, that's going to be great.
Some drivers are looking forward to 2027 when TxDOT hopes to be done with the first 3 phases of construction. But others say they're worried about the next 5 years.
To me, that's a while. It's going to have to, not just me, but a lot of people are going to have to rearrange their schedule.
There's nothing we could do. So, hopefully they do finish it soon. If they don't, we just have to stick with it, until it's done.
Bruce Bugg is the chairman of the Texas Transportation Commission. He says the project is needed to improve traffic flow, enhance safety, and to keep up with the booming Texas population.
Building these projects, as I said, not only for the needs of Texans today, but we are laser focused on what the future is looking like and what we need to do to meet the demands of not only today, but the future.
Now, drivers have already seen plenty of construction. TxDOT started working on segments 1 and 3 in 2021. Today, they broke ground on segment 2, which focuses right here on the Loop 1604 I-10 interchange. Again, they hope to have all 3 of those phases finished by 2027. As for the final 2 segments, they don't have start or finish dates yet. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Nightbeat News Flash. A well-known attorney is now representing the San Antonio teen who was shot in a parking lot while eating a burger. Ben Crump worked on several high-profile cases, including the case of George Floyd. Crump says that James Brennan violated 17-year-old Eric Gunthers' Fourth Amendment rights the night that the teen was shot. Crump says, quote, our children should be able to eat a meal in peace without being gunned down by police. But here we are yet again, unquote. Now, Cantu remains on life support. Brennan, by the way, was fired by SAPD and is now facing charges. Finally, some break from the squeeze of inflation and surprisingly, coming from this place, the IRS. Yeah, the agency is adjusting the tax bracket. There's also changes to the standard deduction. The baseline income that people can claim tax-free is going to see the largest increase since 1985. The standard deduction for married couples is going to go up by $1,800. And for individuals, it's a $900 increase. The drama continues ahead of the November election. Bexar County approved 302 voting sites, but the elections administrator still trying to figure out where those locations would be. Now, in response to a lawsuit, a judge ruled that those locations should have been posted yesterday. That didn't happen. Bexar County Elections Administrator Jackie Callanan says that her office is working on it. County commissioners requested 302 sites last month. Those sites are needed for Election Day. By the way, 51 sites are available for early voting, which begins on Monday. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Still ahead on the Nightbeat, a push to keep prices at the pump under control. But how does the president's plan compare to the grand scheme of things? We'll take a closer look coming up.
So what would you know if you bought a car? Now, well, one woman says that she was taken by surprise when a car was delivered to her home. Here's the thing, though. Police say it was all part of a scam. How they were able to track down the suspects, that's coming up. We don't have to tell you this, but you know, buying a car is a pretty big deal. So when one woman found out that a vehicle was being delivered to her home, she was left scratching her head. So she called police and told them she never bought the car. Now, police in Rosenberg say it was all a scam. So they set up surveillance at the victim's apartment complex and waited for the delivery driver to drop off the car. And then moments later, a different woman met up with the delivery driver and signed the paperwork. Police say that she posed as the victim to buy the car, even used a fake ID. But here's the thing, before she could get away, police swept right in.
Well, I mean, I said you have a warrant. I mean, it'd be nice to get your side of the story, but if... Okay.
Look, my arm is broken.
Which arm?
This arm.
How broken, how?
Yeah, that's 28-year-old Kayla Barrow, and her sling right there, you could see, was right there when the mugshot was taken. Police say that she had several other IDs for other people. 2 other people were also arrested on their own active warrants. Police also seized drugs and even a gun in that case.
Now to news about your money. The president offering a plan to keep gas prices manageable here in San Antonio. AAA shows the average price for a gallon of regular is $3.15 a gallon right now. We've seen prices drop, but that's still higher than just a month ago. The war in Ukraine, along with OPEC's recent decision to slash production, is creating uncertainty in the oil market. The Biden administration, though, hopes releasing another 15 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve will help lower prices. Experts say, though, it might not be enough, given that Americans consume 20 million barrels in just one day. Biden maintains that the move will help, but he says oil companies still have a part to play in bringing relief to drivers. Now to the effort to boost the COVID-19 booster rates. The CDC says about 50% of adults who got their primary series still haven't got their first booster dose, but now there's a new booster on the market to help protect against severe symptoms. The FDA just authorized Novavax's Covid19 vaccine for use as a first booster. It would only be available for adults 18 and up. Before now, the vaccine was only used as a 2-dose primary series. This is now the 4th coronavirus vaccine available in the U.S.
You know what that is. You got to get excited when you hear that and you see that. Yes, the countdown is on. In just 10 days, San Antonio's largest Dia de los Muertos festival is going to celebrate its 10th anniversary at Hemisphere. Los Lobos, a Mexican-American rock band from Los Angeles, has been announced as the headliner. And along with the live music, there's going to be original artwork and the largest open altar exhibition in San Antonio. Exciting stuff. Now, you don't have to pay to get in. Yeah, it's free. It's open to the public. And again, it kicks off on October 29th. And if you can't make it there to enjoy that event in person, don't worry, because you can catch our primetime special, which is going to air Sunday, October 30th from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on KSAT 12, KSAT.com, and also KSAT Plus. Myself and Alicia Barrera are going to be the ones hosting it, and we're super duper excited about that.
Always a fun activity and event. Hopefully we'll have good weather for that weather we've been having. It would be perfect for that event. Taking a live look outside right now, downtown San Antonio from Sky 12. Beautiful fall weather we've been having, Adam.
Crisp.
Crisp is the best way to put it. And, cool in the morning, warm in the afternoon, and it's going to be an even bigger temperature spread tomorrow as we get even warmer than what we had today. Now, still cool tomorrow morning, just not as cool as what we had earlier today. Officially, this morning we were 46 in San Antonio, and we had some 30s in the hill country. Still jacket weather tomorrow morning, but not quite as cool as what we had earlier today. A gradual warming trend has begun, and we're watching the tropics. New development. Tropical Depression 19 in the eastern Pacific. It's going to be impacting our rain chances. We'll get to that in a moment. First of all, temperatures tomorrow morning, 49 in town, and then notice by the weekend, well, morning temperatures are back into the 60s, so we're going to have to say goodbye to the crisp fall-like air in just a few days. Take a look at the readings across the state right now. For the most part, 50s and 60s. Dallas at 57. Alpine right now at 51 degrees. Meanwhile, Laredo at 65. Officially, here in town, we're at 64 degrees. Kerrville, Rock Springs at 57. So already dipping into the 50s in parts of the hill country. And I think by early tomorrow morning, we'll have widespread upper 40s locally. So about 49 in and around San Antonio. You get into the hill country, 46 Comfort in Kerrville, Pipe Creek, Bandera about 46, Seguin, Nixon, however, 50 degrees. So yeah, long sleeves in the morning, but by the afternoon, shorts and short sleeves are fine as we make it into the lower 80s, which is actually closer to average for this time of year. The average high today, by the way, 81. Then by the weekend, we're back up to 90 degrees. I'm thinking about 89 on Saturday, and right now just calling for 90 degrees on Sunday. And then a weak cool front just drops temperatures a little bit into the early part of next week. Now, the significance about 90 this weekend is that so far, 2022 is tied for the most number of 90-degree days. So days where it's been greater than or equal to 90 degrees. If we do hit it this weekend, we'll be solidified in first place there. Here's the big picture. Quiet for most of us. Great Lakes area. That's where we have this big trough, that big dip in the upper level flow. That's stirring things up for them. We're watching Tropical Depression 19 in the eastern Pacific. This is just south of Mexico right now. A weak system, but likely to strengthen over the coming days, even into a Category 2 hurricane named Roslyn. That'd be max sustained winds just over 100 miles per hour before making landfall in western Mexico. And then the remnants of it, as you see the spaghetti plots here, likely to move somewhere over South Texas, and that could bring some moisture to us, along with the cold front to give us some rain chances by Monday, Tuesday of next week. 49 tomorrow morning, 73 at noon, 83 the high temperature, sunny all day long. Bright baby blue sky, low humidity and a southwesterly breeze at 5 to 15. By the way, you're going to notice the humidity Saturday morning and periodically throughout the weekend, and a little breezy this weekend as well. And I mentioned those rain chances Monday, Tuesday. Now that we actually have a system formed, we'll be able to get better data and information, and we'll be fine-tuning that rainfall forecast.
Okay, thank you, Adam.
Big night for the Spurs in the AT&T Center as the 50th anniversary edition of the Spurs tipped off.
Let me put it this way gently. Halftime was the highlight.
Yes, it was.
It's going to be a long season and a rebuilding season for the Spurs. And in fact, Pop, in the Pop era, I should say, only lost his third opening night game to the Charlotte Hornets. When we come back, we'll show you what happened. And Dak is back. Coming up.
Thank you again for everything you've done for me, and let's see what happens out there.
A special moment for Manu Ginobili and Spurs fans at halftime in Big Board Sports, but first it is game day. Our San Antonio Spurs tipped off the regular season tonight, but not just any regular season, their 50th anniversary season here in San Antonio, and we're going to have to be patient. Spurs fall behind by 11 early, but charge right back. Keldon Johnson gets a clear path to the bucket. He slams it down. Then Doug McDermott with back-to-back three-pointers, first from the wing and then from the corner, and they are within 5. But the Hornets close the quarter on a 12-0 run to lead 38-22 after 1. Jakob Poeltl driving the lane, throws down the one-handed punch. Kendall off the screen goes up and takes the contact, still gets it to fall somehow, but the Spurs are down 58-47 at the half. Down by as many as 25 in the first half. The Spurs fight back. Trey Jones going strong to the rim for the bucket and the foul. Then Keldon Johnson finds his touch from behind the arc with back-to-back three-pointers, and the Spurs got the Hornets lead down to 12. A little later is Keldon again from downtown, and they're only down 10. But the Hornets go on a 13-0 run after that to lead by 23 going into the fourth quarter. Keldon led the Spurs with 20 points, 11 boards. Spurs dropped their home opener 129-102.
I can't tell you when we'll break through or when they'll come together, but I think that as long as we keep our head on straight and we keep believing in each other, keep going out there and playing the right way and playing defense and rebounding the ball, I think that we'll be in great shape throughout the season.
A very special moment during the halftime tonight as Manu Ginobili's number 20 that hangs in the rafters of the AT&T Center was unveiled tonight with his new Hall of Fame distinction. Just last month, Manu became the fourth Spurs player to be inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, joining the Iceman George Gervin, the Admiral David Robinson, and the big fundamental Tim Duncan.
I just felt the love, the appreciation from day one. And I simply try to reciprocate. And the affection, the love, the respect that you show for me and my whole family all these 20 years since I landed here for the first time.
That is awesome. It was a very big honor for me to be a part of that Hall of Fame induction ceremony up in Springfield just to watch it. And the next up is a road trip, Indiana, Friday at 6 o'clock.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
Dak Prescott has been medically cleared to return to practice today. The Cowboys star quarterback fully participated in today's workout, indicating he will make his comeback against the Detroit Lions this Sunday at noon in AT&T Stadium. He is forced to miss 5 games with a broken bone in his thumb and his throwing hand he suffered in the season opener. But Cooper Rush of the Dallas D won 4 out of 5 games in his absence.
It's awesome having Dak back. I don't really know the situation behind all that yet, but I know he's been preparing his butt off to get back as soon as he can. Whatever happens, happens, and I'm extremely grateful for what Coop has been able to do for us for the last 5 games. But I know Dak's been working his butt off to get back, so it'll be awesome to see him get back on the field.
All right, the Houston Texans returned to workouts today after having their bye week last week. What will be the key to keeping their momentum going coming off of their first win of the season against Jacksonville when they face the Raiders on the road in Las Vegas this Sunday at 3 p.m.?
Big thing on the offense, we just got to continue playing and executing situational football. We're trying to be better on third downs and down in the red zone. And, a lot of the extra time we spent, we got an extra day of practice last week and earlier this week with how we moved the off day during the week. So just allows us more time to work on that situational football so we can go out and execute and play fast.
All right, the UTSA Roadrunner who made a huge switch to help his team next. Before the UTSA Roadrunners face their rivals North Texas in the lead in Conference USA this Saturday, we got to meet a man who made a big sacrifice for his team. Walker Beatty agreed to make the switch from the defensive line to offensive line following the loss to Texas in Austin last month. That's after the Roadrunners offensive line suffered his 4th loss against the big defensive line at UT, depleting their ranks. Walker walked us through how it went down.
Coach Traylor texted me. He said, "You up?" He hit me with the "you up" text at like 1:30. I was like, "Yes, sir, I'm up." I was with my friends back in Austin. And so he called me. He was like, "I need you to do something for me." I was like, "What's up?" I was freaking out. I was like, I thought I did something wrong. And he was like, "I need you to play O-line for me." I was like, "All right, coach, whatever it takes." I wasn't particularly excited because I love D-line. I've played D-line my whole life, but got to do what you got to do.
That's pretty cool. Kickoff 2:30 on Saturday. The Houston Astros hosting the New York Yankees in Game 1 of the ALCS. Game tied at 1 on the 6th when Yuli Gurriel hits this one to the Crawford boxes in left, 2-1 Houston. Next batter, Chas McCormick, goes opposite field to put Houston up 3-1. They go on to take Game 1, 4-2. Game 2 is tomorrow to be around 6:30 for the batter up. We'll see if they can take 2 in a row in Houston. Man, when you have to relocate Elton John because of this series, it's a big series.
Maybe too much celebrating for the Yankees in the Bronx last night.
Probably, right, yeah.
A little bit of a hangover today.
Exactly.
Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. And we'll be right back after this.
Sweatshirt in the morning, then by the afternoon, short sleeves. Sunshine all day long. It's one of those days where you'll feel the cool air in the morning, but by the afternoon, that sun hits you and it's 83 and you'll notice it. Low humidity, by the way. And then we get into Friday, mid-80s this weekend. It's back to 90. You can say goodbye to this crisp fall-like weather, at least for now, once we make it to the weekend.
Let's just enjoy it while we have it. Yeah. Thank you.
That's it for the Night Beat. Good Morning San Antonio starts tomorrow at 4:30.
Have a good night.